Molokai.
Aloha.
I cannot hear you. One more time. Aloha Molokai. Okay, if there's anybody inside or anybody far away, come closer. We are very privileged to be a people of Molokai. Our island is very special, both spiritually and culturally. We thank everybody for coming this evening, and we ask that you return tomorrow. I'd like to open with a prayer. Father, we come before you with humble hearts and thanksgiving. We ask you to bless this event, bless all of our actions, bless our words, be our strength and be our wisdom. Help us to listen with a humble heart and be our wisdom forever and ever. We fight this fight to protect our land, our ocean, our people. Nature is just as important now as when you first created it. We ask this in Jesus' name. Everybody says, Amen. Thank you for coming, and please tell your family and friends to come again tomorrow.
So I wrote down something that I was going to share today, but like always, Molokai time, everything is improv. We are with our wonderful guests today, and then shoot up to Kalai to cut bamboo, and then we went home to Kalamaula. And we turned the key, and the battery was dead. So we come a little late. But just to go over a little bit of history of Aloha Molokai, truly it's been about 4 years since First Wind came here to propose the first development on Hawaiian Homes land. And we fought hard with a lot of help. And it's been about 2 years now since Pattern Energy has did their first proposal to develop the west side of Molokai. Why are we here? Plain and simple, we are Aloha Molokai. We love this island, and we want to see what is done here, that it's right. Right for our people. To start the day's event, we're going to have a wonderful protocol soon, and then we're going to call up a special guest to come and speak, and she's going to introduce more special guests. We're going to have a wonderful day tomorrow. We're going to have some interesting panels. We're going to talk about Hawaii energy policy. We're going to talk about big wind over there in San Diego, in California, in Akatil. We got some special guests who's going to share their story, and we're so grateful that they have come, the Native Americans. We're going to talk about Native Hawaiian rights and representation, and we're going to talk about alternative solutions for our island and for the rest of the islands. With that, let's start with our protocol, and then we can go on. Aloha and mahalo.
he hina kua pa.
Ua he hina kua I Molokai, launea I ke kula ho o le uala. Palili kalai o kalau papa, ke alakai holo holo kulani laea, ke alakai holo holo kulani laea. E hina kua I Molokai, launea I ke kula ho o le uala. Palili kalai o kalau papa, ke alakai holo holo kulani laea, I ke alakai holo holo kulani laea, ala e ala e a. Langea vale no I he moia, kapua huia. Upalu kupu kupu huai kawai akua. Palu kupu kupu huai kawai akua. Ke avale no I he moia, kamalu uakuia. Upalu kupu kupu huai kawai akua. Upalu kupu kupu huai kawai akua. Ewe, ewe, ewe. Nano lauhaloa.
Aloha, everyone. The mele they just did speaks of our island, the sacredness of our island, and how we connect with our ancestors. And the hula the men are going to perform today is called Makanio Makanalua, and it talks about the winds of the area Makanalua, which a lot of us know today as Kalaupapa. And we believe that all our kupuna are in those winds. So Makanio Makanalua.
Kahea.
Ai, Makanio Makanalua.
Magani pua I makanalua, ae pui kala I ke kulaloa. Magani pua I makanalua, ae pui kala I ke kulaloa. Inapu pili haa I le huakai, ehu ke one I ke kikio. Inapu pili haa I le huakai, ehu ke one I ke kikio. Ae bu'u au ke ahu kapalili, ke o maila I ka I a kauhako. Ae bu'u au ke ahu kapalili, ke o maila I ka I ha kauhako. Mai motu tapu mai ta ili ki, ku I alali poa he ha. Mai motu tapu mai ta ili ki, ku I alali poa he ha. E pai ta palia e pai ta pane ene, ulu ha haula la ohi ai ke kualon. E pai ta palia e pai ta pane ene, ulu ha haula la ohi ai ke kualon. Hoi.
Hello? Just going to talk a little briefly about why we're here. First of all, we, as Aialoha Molokai, we have a wonderful, wonderful group of people and support group coming all the way from West Molokai, all the way up to Mauna Loa, our community down here in Kaunakakai, the homestead community up in Ho'olehua, all the way down towards the east end. We have a tremendous support group here. And the reason why we're here is that we as a community have stuck together and has joined together to take part in this fight in protecting our island. We are allowed to do this event, this wonderful event, and allowed to meet every week as a group through the help of the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. They have been very supportive in us. Last year we put on this event, and we are grateful. We are very grateful. Without that help, we would have a hard time putting on such event. So we thank you guys so much. I'd like to introduce Auntie Colette Machado, who is our representative, who is our chair, who is voted in again as our representative with no challenger, because what she has done for us and Native Hawaiians is just tremendous. And we thank you so much, Auntie. We thank you.
If I never know better, you would think that they're sucking up to me. That's supposed to be a joke, okay? Because we continue to support this wonderful effort. Last year, with a small grant from OHA, it started what we call seed planting. And we had a few people on Friday night, and those that did benefit and came, we had a wonderful evening with the drums, and they fed us with a fabulous buffet. I look around and I see that we've multiplied much more than when we spoke last year on Friday evening. What do I want to talk about? It's never easy taking the hard line. It's never easy saying, go home, government, state of Hawaii, all your agencies, even if you have a strategic direction that says we're going to be at least in the green at a certain time. It's never easy working uphill against your politicians that support any kind of development that will come and give money back to the larger corporations. And this is the whole story about David and Goliath. We're going about it against giants. And for 4 years, what started off to be a simple movement has garnered statewide support. What you will be seeing tomorrow is an expansion, not only to our sister island of Lanai, but you have people from the Big Island, and you have Native Hawaiians that are stepping up to claim certain areas as part of our Native rights, and not be using this in circles and talking about it, but taking a strong position. All of this is necessary as we develop a unifying effort to walk and talk. When we say aloha aina, when we say from the cradle to the grave, this is our community, our beloved home, Molokai. And we have to be able to make sure that resources here will be here, what we call for time immemorial. What does that mean? It means forever and ever. This big one is connected to the cable because you need to get the energy to Honolulu. So we got double whammy on Lanai and Molokai because it comes as a package deal. They take the makani as the men performed and translate that into energy under the ocean floor and take it to Honolulu. And we will be the industrial island with the 400 plus turbines. We will have to accommodate them with widening of the roads to get it into this undeveloped area, just like Lanai. That's what makes our island important to fight for. Earlier today, when I was sitting down, someone asked me, how many people on the island? I said, maybe 7,600 to 7,800. 61% of that I know is Native Hawaiians. When this group of Native Hawaiian homesteaders engaged with the community in the homestead area to block the windmill and to create one special project district so that forever the Department of Hawaiian Homes could not come in and utilize the Mo'omomi Anahaki area to put up wind turbines. It was not easy. Individuals stood against family that they knew all their lives. Friends became separated. Ugly words were expressed. And a lot of aloha disappeared. But the justification came when you had young people that had enough smarts to come in with GPS to mark the sites. These are sites that have not been discovered yet. Inadvertent discovery archaeological sites. They were able to note that by the GPS, and we were able to justify that we wanted open space for our Native people in the homestead area. The group that supported it wanted an exchange in controlling the resources so money could flow back into their community association. And we're going to get there soon. Am I not right with the electric company? And that's where we're going to have to rely on why we've come today, why we've come last year, and why we've come tonight and tomorrow. This is what you're going to be made out of. That you're going to have what I call the guts to stand up and say, we don't want anything that you have to offer. But you have people that will suggest certain possibilities that you can get exchange for. And this is what I would tell you will be our challenge in 2013. You have fought a great fight at the ledge and against pattern. But now they're coming back and they're going to get the electric company to tell us that fossil fuels is not the way to go. They keep jacking up our gas to $5, and we know all that history of what they're going to try to make us guilt-ridden, why we need to depend on fossil fuel. And the electric company going to tell you, you are unreasonable. You do not love this island. You do not love the future of the island. And it only will take a handful of people to say, I'm going to show you the sign, what you should be doing. Yeah, the sign is here. And that's all it'll take. And you'll be coming against giants from all angles with resources that's they're going to be throwing out like cotton candy. And this year they're going to push real hard. They need to be turning the corner at the federal level as well at the state level. As my friend from Big Island said, they picture the geothermal action as just a bump in the road. And that's what they look at us at Lanai. But when we are united with others that combine to make up a statement, you're not a bump in the road. You're a group to be reckoned with. So that's not culturally. Is Halona back yet? Halona, where you? Bring the, Halona, can you bring the gift? Sorry. That's just the way politics are. And on one small island, you're going to stand up against your own neighbor and your family. And as long as you feel that you know that what in here is pono, you're going to be okay. But if you wishy-washy, zigzag, you don't need to be here today or tomorrow. You need to leave. You need to stand straight up and say, we're going to go this route, and part of that. And this is how this group has been able to stay together. It takes a young man with a vision and the guts to do that, and that's Kanoho. Come, Halona. We were looking for something culturally appropriate. Come, you have to talk and explain. We're going to give you some giveaways that OHA gives, like wristband, and we get calculator and pens and T-shirts. But I told him, because you folks come from Southern California, do you have, who's the, usually got a leader, the older kupuna? Okay, yeah. Come, Halona, show them. Okay, go ahead. And this is why we fight this fight.
This is authentic. This is over 100 years old. It's my tutu's spirits is in this. It's a tool. It's a working tool. It's an ads. I have to pray and ask to share this and to give this to you, and you guys take it home. And let your tribes know that we are surviving. We still have old ways, even though society is very different. I was raised by my great-grandparents and my grandparents. I'm a traditional Hawaiian baby. When I was born, I didn't take the milk from my mother's chichis. My grandfather was there. He was a fisherman and he was a farmer. So this is to farm. Stick the ko'o and you dig for your plants. And when time comes, you take off the ko'o and this becomes a weapon. But I want you guys to use this or to show this. And hopefully, maybe no need use, just to show that we are still here, we're still breathing, and we're still alive, and we're still fighting to be recognized as Native Hawaiians. And I give you guys credit because you know your tribes was just banging heads, but when time to be sovereignty, when time to come together, you guys came together to be recognized. As Hawaiians got to be educated, and we must come together again to be strong and to be recognized as Native people, no matter what ideas and agendas that our leaders have, our great leaders. We must come together and we must pull through to survive. And we are the evidence. We've been here for over thousands of years. So why do we have to listen to United States laws and policies when we survived with our kupunas, with their laws, with their policies, with their couples, and their beliefs? So we want to present this. This is Molokai Nui Ahina. You take them home with you.
I wanted to say one more thing. You know, lucky you folks have Cheryl Corbiel as you guys' secretary. She did an excellent job in her application to fund this event. And if you folks know her, she's really aggressive, but she was so detailed that I got some feedback that they said that was the best proposal that came in for this particular event. So how about a hand for Cheryl Corbiel that's not here? But all of you, 2013 is going to be an effort to bring all of us together and to stand. And if you cannot be misled by stories that people are saying that we need employment, we need this, we're hurting economically. We just have to stand strong. This is the best thing for our island, is not to have the windmills. You already know the stories. They have insufficient information on how to store the energy. Up in Kahuku, that huge warehouse just got blown out by first wind. But you could do all that tomorrow. But I know in my heart, even if I'm an elected official, even if I'm accountable to the governor in certain ways, because he's given us Native Hawaiians $200 million last year for the Kaka'ako lands, I know in my heart I will not have a difficult time to tell him I do not support the windmills on Molokai and the undersea cable, because I know in here, in my pu'uvai, that is the right thing to do.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, everybody, we go practice. Yeah. Before I introduce our guests, like I said, we're going to have a wonderful event this weekend. I'd like to recognize our people of Mauna Loa and West Molokai. You guys live up there in the area where they're proposing to do this. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay, we there. We there for all of you. We there. I'd like to recognize Robin K. from Friends of Lanai. And it's been a long fight on Lanai as well. And we're there for you, just like you're there for us. So thank you, Uncle Robin. Henry Curtis from Life for the Land. And we have much more guests. Light Solar over there. Thank you for coming. Okay. I'd like to recognize a few people in our organization. As you all know, we have an office now. Some of you may not know, but up in Holomua. So please come by our office anytime. We open from Monday to Friday. I'd like to recognize Les Wiley for, putting all the things together in our office. He's always there without saying anything, unconditionally. He's always there. So thank you, Uncle Les. And tell you the truth, the people who have really helped me to organize and structure and put this thing together, I have to recognize 2 people who probably don't want to be recognized, but I aloha them very much. Joanne too and Larry too. Thank you guys so much for your support. And all of you, you know who you are. With your guys' support, mahalo nui. Yeah. I'd like to recognize some special people. We have some guests from Ocotillo up in California, San Diego, who are going to be sharing their story about their dealings with Pattern Energy, which is the same company that is proposing to do the wind farm and put in the cable. We had some little bit talk story, and they're going to share with you guys, about how things went down over there. And speaking with them, it was very similar to what's been going on here. Same old story of divide and conquer, but they stood strong, and they still keep their ground. Even if they have to go into the desert and protect their native sites and bury their kupuna, their ancestors, that is being desecrated from this giant development. And we're very lucky to have them because they're going to share this story. Thank you so much. I'd like to recognize the head of the tribe, Vernon Smith. Mahalo nui, Uncle Vernon. And to Lucinda, Lucia, and Alan. We also have another guest, and Uncle Vernon can introduce him. He's here more right now. But I'd like to ask them if you share a few words, and then they're gonna go get ready, and we got a treat. They're gonna do a special ceremony for us later. So they're gonna give them time to get ready after. We're gonna play a little bit of music, and when they're ready, we got a special treat. Uncle Vernon.
Thank you very much. Please excuse my voice. Came down with a cold. I'm trying to get rid of it, but I think it's getting the best of me. But I can still communicate. And we're here to do that, to share with you many of the things that you are now going through with this energy company. They came to our areas too, not just them, but other companies. For some reason, they seem to pick on real nice, pristine lands that belong to other people, and they really don't care what they do to the land. And we have been successful in our fights in other projects. And how did we become successful? Two ways of doing that. One is being united. We push that a lot. You need to be united, regardless of where you come from, what you do today. If you don't know your history, it doesn't matter. You still need to be united, to be strong. And the other thing is to be aware, to know the laws, the regulations that are already established, that all companies that do come on to start new projects are mandated to follow those. But in our experience, in our case, our land was taken away from us a long time ago. And we were put in one location. There was a reservation that this is your land, you live on there forever. But we were also recognized as a sovereign entity. So we live in California. We became citizens in the 1920s. Could never vote before that. Didn't matter. But when the state recognized us, they did not take away our sovereign status. We live within the state. It's a sovereign nation within the state. So they don't really have too much control over us Quechan people. I think there's a difference here, because when that happens, something comes up, federal regulations say that they must consult us on a government-to-government basis. They don't do that. They put us in the category of being an agency or a department or even a corporation. So we are not. We are sovereign. So these companies, they want to fast track a lot of the projects, and they don't follow the standard procedures. And when we do get wind of it, we'll make that known that you have not consulted with us, to let us know and get feedback from us. You just went ahead and planned everything and expect us to say yes. We say no. Doesn't work that way. Well, sometimes we have to take the fight to the courts. We usually go to the federal courts. State courts, they're not as strong as the federal courts. So we've been successful in a few court cases. We prevailed in them because we said this is what the regulations say, you haven't done this, etc., etc. But there are other cases where they said, no, I don't think you have enough proof to say that there's a lot of irreparable damage that was done. And this is the one case with Alcatillo, Wind Express, same company. When they said you don't have enough proof to validate your request to stop it because there's been no damage. I said there will be damage when you start the project, because they had archaeologists go out there, do a lot of studying, not one but several companies, and they did identify a lot of areas that were potential cremation sites. I'd have to say that my tribe is one of the few tribes in the United States that are still allowed to cremate our dead. We do that. And when there's a cremation site out in the desert area, dating back thousands of years, we say it's ours, remains, our people, because we lived there. They seem to want to argue the point, but they have no real reason, they have nothing to stand on. So there's two things that I say is you be united, know your regulations, but also, more important, is to know your own history, your own background, what has happened thousands and 2,000 of years ago, before anybody set foot on this island. What did your people do? And from what I'm hearing from my host, that when the Hawaiian Islands decided to become a state, a member of the United States, they seem to say that your identity is no longer there. You're a citizen of the state and that's it. That's wrong. They can't do that. They can never do that. They can never wipe away your identity, who you are, what you believe in, what are your traditions. It's still there. You may not practice it, but it's still there. Some of you do, I'm sure. You need to rely on that in your fight. Mainly because we've done that in ours. Now, I've said this and I'll say it again as many times as I have to, that the laws they are using to place these projects on your land, based on laws that have been enacted by the United States, which they're not following, by the way. But when the argument comes up, we say, well, that's well and good for you to follow your laws a couple of 100 years back. Ours goes way beyond that. It's not recorded. You may not understand it, but you have to accept the fact that we are different from you, and our ways, our beliefs, our traditions, our culture, everything's different. You may not agree with it. You may not be knowledgeable about it, but you have to accept the fact that what we say are facts. We feel like, well, maybe some bones out there or cremation site, maybe that was recent. I said, no. Take it and test it. They have tested some, and it's prehistoric. Some are 5,000 years old. I said, when did the Europeans and the Spaniards step foot on our country? Just a few hundred years ago. So that validates our claim that we've been here longer than anybody ever has to date. We may not live in that area anymore, but that doesn't mean that the remains that are being unearthed, we can't disregard it. So it is part of ours. We treat it in a different way. We don't just say, well, dig another hole and bury it and go on about our business. Don't do that. We go through 4 days of ceremonies just for funerals. Take care of them. We follow what we've been taught. And we've done that when they started the Alcatia project, before they started the construction. There was a site. They were clearing an area in the unearthed cremation site. And what did they do? They put a little fence around it, and they're going to continue working around that. But the law specifically states everything has to come to a stop. They didn't follow that. So we said, well, we're going to go out there, and we're going to conduct the ceremony for 4 days. We did. We went out there. We constructed a ramada, a temporary ramada. And when we started the ceremony about this time, the workers were still there. The earth movers, water trucks, they were all around, but they all left. They didn't come back for 4 days. So in a way, they listened to us. We stopped the project. We finished our ceremonies and we left. That's all we could do. Because we were taught, I was taught, as a small child living with my elders, that you cannot forsake those people that are out there. You have to conduct a ceremony so their spirits that were disturbed will be taken care of by your ceremonies. And we've done that. That's all we can do for them. I said, every time you find something like that, we will be back. That's why a lot of times they find something they don't tell anybody. But we find out somehow. So we'll continue to go up to the companies and say no. Not going to work. They cannot prevent us from coming on that property because of the Freedom of Religion Act that specifically states that any natives that have been there before, they've conducted ceremonies, they have free access to that site, even though they may not live there. So we use that. We say that site over there, we're going to go over there and do something. So there's a difference because they recognize us as a sovereign nation, and they have to treat us as such. The Bureau of Land Management that has all that land is part of the Department of the Interior. Department of Interior, the Indian tribes are placed in there. And I said, that's wrong. We should not be. We're not an agency. But they treat us like we are. So now we're a nation. Presidents, Nixon all the way down, said, we're going to see you as a native sovereign nation. We deal with you on a government-to-government basis, just like any foreign countries. Not with the departments here somewhere. And that's where they're trying to put us, or they put us there. We say no. Say no. We are sovereign. Treat us like sovereign nations. So as small as we are, a tribe, we still stand up to them. And we still maintain the right to do what we're saying. They say you don't live there no more. I said, no, we don't, but still, everything that's out there belongs to us. Our people left it there, and we're going to protect it. So that's why I say you need to know your background, your history, what happened there. You can utilize that. Yes, it's not in the laws, so how can they argue that point with you? They can't. But there are ways we found out that we can temporarily stop it altogether, and we continue to do that. We've been trying, been arguing the points, and the other bad thing about it is, just like the lady said, the company will come to you, promise you many, many things, but they're just saying that. They never follow up on it. The other thing is they will contact individuals, little groups within your group, offer them money, offer them benefits of some sort, and they know what your needs are. Believe me, they do know. Whether it be housing, whether it be education, they know all of that, and they will offer you that. They've done that to the tribes in California. They've done it to us. We'll give the tribe $30,000 a year as long as that project is going. A lot of money. If it lasts 50 years, it's $30,000 a year for 50 years for scholarships. I can't imagine them doing that. Or we can put up $5,000 per year so you can go and gather over there and conduct your ceremonies. We say we don't need your money. It's not about money. We'll get you a language program. We know that you're trying to teach your young people the language. We'll put the money for you, $100,000 per annum. So they do a lot of that. We'll put money for you so you can train your own people to come out and be monitors when there's projects out there. So if there's something that's been unearthed, they will know and report to you. We'll train them, pay for them. We'll give the museum $100,000. We'll give park over here $100,000. It goes on and on and on. And some people feel like, well, yeah, we do need that. It's a done deal anyway. It's going to happen. So why don't we just accept that money? Well, my tribe said no. You guys want to do that with the rest of the Indian tribes in California? You're welcome to it. Well, we're not going to. We're not going to accept it. So that's why I told a group the other night and today that we will do that. We will try to divide you. And there will be some younger people of the younger generation that are in need, and they may not have employment or a steady income. It looks good to them. It looks really good. It may benefit them. But the bottom line is, what are you giving up for that? What's going to happen? And even though there's no one that lives there except non-Indians living nearby, we don't live there, but we still feel like the whole area needs to be protected from those things that are out there, meaning the animals, the birds, the different types of bushes, little things that we use for herbs, for healing, the wild goat that lives out there, the eagle that has a nest real close by. We say we need those protected. Those wind machines with all those 40-foot blades, they don't stop for anything. The birds come through there because that's their own route of hunting for food. They can't fly into that. You will kill a lot of little animals that are there. We feel for them. Nobody speaks for them. So we will speak for them. We want them protected. The Creator put all of those things there. Who are you to say, move them out of there? They don't belong there. Just so you can put your machines up, that you can make money. There, it's the same thing. All of the projects there that will generate the power will go into San Diego area, Los Angeles, and other metropolitan areas in Southern California. No one in that area will benefit from that project, other than a few dollars that they're handing out or proposing to. So it seems like that's the kind of project that they're so used to doing. They'll tell you a lot of things, but you're not going to benefit. Somebody else does way down the line. Your power still goes up, you know, and it's the same way there. We argue the point, but they've done all they can to have support from other agencies, county board of supervisors, other groups, you name it. They have the money to spread it around. So be prepared for that, if they haven't done that already here. So we'll continue to fight them our own way. We're not a rich tribe either, not by a long shot. But we have attorneys that are pretty good attorneys that work for us. And they continue to file another appeal, another complaint. So we'll continue to do that. Hopefully we'll prevail. We stopped another project in the area because of the same failure to follow those regulations. Court pointed that out. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. Stop it. So it helps to know that. And I've heard a couple of people that are really familiar with that process, the federal regs. That's good. Really good. But I certainly do appreciate the invitation to be here with you. We're very strong in our beliefs and what we're fighting for. And if the other tribes don't agree with it, it's up to them. Let them find out their own way. Other natives like yours, people here, they ask for help. We'll do what we can to help you. I've never been on this island, my first time here. But I feel for you. I feel for what you're doing. I've been to the other islands. Oahu, I've been there several times, just for vacation purposes. I've talked to a lot of people there. They find out we're from the mainland and we're American Indians. They get excited. They ask us many questions. So we share with them. And when I hear that the same company is here, I said, it's terrible. Joanne Toole emailed me, asked if there's something we can do to help. I said, yes. If you want us, we'll come down there. Share our information with you and anything else that you would like to know. We don't know too much, but from our experience, there isn't much to learn because it's the same thing over and over, no matter where. So I contacted my group. The Quechan Tribe is composed of a council that oversees the whole tribe, 7 members, 2 official officers, the president, the vice president, and 5 council members. My son is a council member, starting his 2nd term. They are the ones that meet with the higher-ups, the attorneys, all of that, based on whatever the attorney suggests that they do. My group, we call ourselves Pipa Akuts. Pipa means people. Akuts is older, elders. And they see us as the elders of the tribe. And it's customary for them to come to the elders for advice, for guidance, anything that is not written within the Constitution or the laws, something that's traditional, things that we do, they come to us. My generation, and I'm 73 years old, I'll be 74 next month. I grew up in a traditional family that taught me a lot of things as I was growing up. I retained a lot of that. I participated in ceremonies. My family came from people that conducted ceremonies. They were healers, they were singers, and I am a traditional singer. I learned all the songs, and our songs contain our history of our tribe, passed down orally from thousands of years ago. So the songs contain many information. It refers to landmarks that still exist today throughout the country. So I do sing songs for funerals, and our songs usually start about this time, and we don't finish until the next morning. And that's singing constantly all the way through. We take a break, 2 breaks throughout the night. The songs are shared by all the tribes along the Colorado River. There's about 4 or 5 tribes that share the songs. We are one family. We broke up thousands of years ago, but we still maintain our connection. Our language is basically the same. We understand each other, but we're sovereign. They're sovereign, but we follow these, especially if there's a funeral, a wake. They ask us to go and help them sing, or they come and help us sing. So we've been doing that for a long time, over 40 some odd years. So I still sing the songs today. I don't sing them as long as I used to, getting an age, but we try and maintain our songs. We teach the younger people that are interested. I hold classes for them. Not only the songs, but what does that mean? When do you sing these songs? Why do you sing them? What is, all of that. I teach them the language. We speak the language every day. My other half and I, we grew up raised by our elders. That's how we spoke, Quechan language. We still speak that today. The younger people do speak that too, but they more or less speak it in a slang type. Cut it and change a little bit. I said, no, that's not correct. So we're constantly trying to say, if you're going to teach them the right way. So it's an ongoing, slow process, but we continue to do that. I've gone into the school system to teach the songs and the language. So we continue to try and keep those songs alive so that after I'm gone, someone will pick it up and carry it on. We do a few songs this evening just to share our songs with you as you've shared your songs with us and your dancing. And I always say the songs do not belong to me. I sing the songs because I learned them. Songs belong to the people, regardless of who you are. If you're a native, that's your song too. Songs are sung to make you feel good, to give you strength in times when you need them, to ease your pains if you're mourning, or to make you happy if you're celebrating. These songs are sung for that. The songs, they always ask too, if you sing at a funeral over there, specifically for that, how can you sing the same songs in a celebration where there's happiness, laughter? Doesn't make sense. Well, I was taught the songs have a beginning and an ending. The beginning of life for everyone. As you learn, you grow older, you begin to gain knowledge. You see things that make you wonder. You learn things. Many, many things you love. Like little kids, you see them as they grow up. They begin to see things, you learn those things, you begin to speak. Songs are about that. When you do start gaining knowledge, then you find that there's something else that affects you. And that's your emotions, your feelings. You learn to like things, you learn to dislike things, you learn to hate things, you learn to love. All of these feelings child goes through. Every person goes through that, no matter who you are. Not just us natives. Songs are about that. When you get to that, this is what you need to do. Be prepared. So the songs refer to that period. There are the songs that when that happens, there's also something else that is more predominant than some. Love, for instance, for your family, for your siblings. Then there's another feeling. That's greed, hatred. Those are negative things. You feel that at some point. The songs say, when you feel this, listen to the songs. You can cope with that. And along with that is the pending ache that will come to you. Let's say a family member is dying. You know that. It's going to affect you. Songs are about that. The songs tell you, when you feel these things, just listen to the songs. It'll give you the strength to cope with it. And when someone does die, it's even worse. We sing the songs for that reason. After that, the songs are to prepare you to reconcile your life and feeling without that loss. Gives you the strength. Tells you that this is just part of life. You go past that, then you have your own goals you set in mind. How do you change? You do it. Some do, some don't. You find happiness. Songs are about happiness. That's when the celebration songs come in. But then again, we know that you're not going to live forever. It's the beginning. The end is coming. They prepare you for that. The songs say, you're going to leave this at some point. Prepare yourself. There's another life on the other side. Prepare for that. This is what's going to happen to you when you reach that point. Songs are about that. So I say that it has a beginning and an ending. Once your life ends, we have songs for that. To say, now you're going to leave us. Your spirit is already prepared. Take these songs with you. As you go home, your relatives are on the other side waiting for you, singing the same songs. So we sing those songs too. So that's why we sing the songs for every occasion, because it covers everything. That's the way I was taught to sing my songs. And I sing those songs And I like to share that with the people. I'm not going to stand up here and sing the songs I want to do down there. The ladies, they will come and dance in front of me. But it's open. If anybody in the audience wants to come out and join them, please feel free to. We share our songs and our dances with you. Don't be ashamed. So don't feel like it's your thing, though we can't, you have to sit back. No. You come out and join us.